All right, I am
Well, I thought what's his
starting the
face was
recording.
messing up
Not the
my
job
throat.
he thinks they're doing.
All right. Good evening and welcome to Scenic Mirkwood. I am your lore master, and this is session what
61.
63, I think.
Three,
Yep,
Right, 61.
yep.
at least
Let's.
according to the YouTube video titles, because you just shared 61 and 63.
According to my campaign summary, this is session 63. So, yeah. All right. So I'm your lore master, and this is session number 63 of the Darkening of Mirkwood. When last we left our heroes, it is the year 2960 of the Third Age, the 11th day of the month of Thrimridge, also known as May the 2nd. The party is in at Wooduseld, Woodland Hall, to commemorate the life and valor of Ingomar Axebreaker, who has recently passed away, and you are all here for the funeral. Unfortunately, Mogdred is also here for the funeral, being Ingomar's son, and as are several of Amras the Red's wayward elf pals. Last
Wayward.
session, we began with a dinner with Kaowina, the Kaowina the Generous, and
Wasn't that after a few things?
last session we started right at the dinner, I think, right? No, what did we do last session?
Did a bunch of investigating
Okay.
and we wrecked
We,
stuff.
we started at the like the wake.
So much happened before that.
Oh, that's right. See, I was
Yeah.
thinking that was
Didn't take that part.
I was thinking that was the session before that, but you're totally right. Yep. So,
I mean, I have until we get like kicked out of the hall.
well then go for it,
After that, I
Amanda.
stopped trying. I mean, okay, it's sort of disjointed, but here goes. So the party goes to see what they can find, if they can find any suspicious things. They follow Mogdred. Mogdred pets the throne and says, "Now others must continue what you cannot." A young blonde man is there in the hall, and Amras tries to speak to him about Ingomar. It doesn't go well.
That's right.
Amras walks over to Moonin and talks to him about being lonely and having the life of a soldier. There's still time, he tells him. Moonin turns quickly and accidentally catches Amras in the ribs with his elbow. The party notices a young lady flirting and talking with the soldiers. Amras takes the pitcher of ale and hands it to Illyri, who initially thinks this is a great idea until someone yells, "More ale, wench!" And then Amras tries to impress her with his name. It works. Berthagund is her name, or Berthagund? Berthagund. Or D at the end. Berthagund is impressed and decides to talk with him. She has no idea what is to come. You may be the answer, the key, the clue, which shall break the riddle of the death of Ingomar Axebreaker, he tells her. She insists there is no riddle. He just died. And then he finds out if she was there. No, she's from Woodsman town, and that's where she was. And by the way, I have a nice house, and in fact my father has no sons, and in fact I will inherit all of that, she tells him.
She's
The
right.
red Yeah. The red elf offers her his matchmaking skills, and she doesn't understand, so Illyri tells her that, or explains it quickly. And then Amras tells her that Illyri is a half dwarf. And then the two proceed to try to work out which side is the half dwarf, or which is the dwarf side. And she says, "I think it's the backside." At which point Illyri yells, "Hey!" and throws a pitcher of ale at their general direction. It misses. It hits the wall, unfortunately. That's the point where Asper decides it's time to take Illyri out of the hall. It was a wake after all. And then Moonin talks with someone who ends up being, Richard said after a while, that guy.
Yeah, Marovich.
He wants to throw in with Moondrick the Ponderous.
All right then. I don't know anything about that conversation because you guys were both talking in your lowest register possible, and so didn't catch it.
That's what
at
we
all.
do.
That was on purpose. Moonin talks like that.
Okay, well, good job role playing. Amras talks to Berthagun again, and he references the Elven King's treasure like he's familiar with it, so she's impressed. And then he convinces her to go into a dark cellar alone with him in exchange for, quote, a taste of his special wine. This is all fine. This is normal. This happens. Yeah, totally.
It's par
I'm
for
pretty
the.
sure you all were supportive of that until it turned so crazy.
She takes him into the cellar, and then well, I guess they both end up. Okay, so she drinks the special crazy elf wine and goes crazy and like becomes someone else possessed. Tries to choke him out. That doesn't work. So then she runs out and wants to attack the body, but she's stopped before she can get there. Then she faints, like you do, I guess. And then he decides to like fortify himself with a little bit of no. He tests the other stuff. That's what he was doing. He was testing
Yes.
the poison wine that he suspected was poison wine and did it anyway. And sure enough, it's poison wine.
How is he supposed to tell?
Your body
How much-
is
that's
not
all
a
I have.
not so much a temple as a laboratory.
Who tested the
Possibly also
poison wine?
toxic waste stuff.
Narvi did.
What?
Narvi
He
did.
drank it.
Yeah, Narvi did, and he died.
Yeah, pretty
Your-
much.
your
He
character's
died. So
dead.
that would have been better than what happened.
That's how
He's
it
like sitting on top of the bean hall right now, just completely naked, just singing at the top of his lungs. Yeah. Mildred is trying to get you to come down.
No, Amras
Not
Amras
trying
gave
to come down.
Amras gave poisoned wine to Berthagund and then drank some different poisoned wine himself, essentially is what happened.
And then drank some more of the other poison wine.
Right.
Later, yes.
But that's as far as I've got. I don't have anything more.
Poison wine. It's a wine that he carries around, so somebody was trying to poison him.
So following all of the shrieking and
And
the
it
running out of the
wasn't
hall
Illyri.
and the poor decisions, you guys did have dinner with Kaywin the Generous, where you discussed
Evidence against Mowgli.
the lack of evidence against Mogdred and the need to compile some. And you talked about various methods for doing this, possibly making an expedition to the Old Dwarf Road. Eventually, you went and found Radagast and asked him to send birds to like an entire region of the Vales of Anduin to find this one guy. And after
We're
he
gonna give him a good address.
kind of balked at that, you guys decided you would find a little more information, and then maybe he could do it. And that is essentially what led you guys up to after Kaywin is stressing that hearsay alone would not be enough to stop Mogdred should he choose to stand for the election as war leader. The party set off to do some investigation, try to find the person who provided the wine, which you found out to be Ulfgar, the wine merchant from Laketown, a good friend of Astrid's. And basically, as the night was winding down, Amras sat alone, so he thought, under a table, I think it was, in the Great Hall, singing really
Garfunkel.
sad, depressing Simon and Garfunkel songs to
I
himself.
think it was the house that Kaywin was staying in. I mean, if it was the Great Hall, that'd be fantastic, but I was thinking it was Kaywin's house.
That could be the case, yeah. So,
Pretty
anyway,
sure it was Kaywin's house where we had the feast, and then
Yeah.
everybody
It
left
was, yeah.
yep. All right, so.
wrapped in a tablecloth under the table playing sad songs.
And as he's playing sad songs to himself, he took a pull from his flask of secret wayward elf Mirkwood wine, which apparently is also poisoned.
Mountain fire hooch.
You're still drinking the poisoned wine?
And after
I did not know until literally the end of the session that was the reason that it was poisoned until because I mean, for all I know, that's what happens when humans drink elf wine. Like,
After a
Drank it. You drank your wine, didn't you?
at the
No,
end of
that's
the
right.
night, yes. And then it was like crazy times.
Yep.
and after taking a sip of his own apparently poisoned wine, Amras the Red began to slip slowly into madness, and he turned, and Duvaniel, the elf maiden with whom he has come to the funeral, was sitting there next to him. She took the skin from his hand, took a long pull from it, and said, "So, Amras, let's talk about how we're stealing the lamp." And that is where we're going to pick up this evening.
Excellent.
So,
As the next morning dawns, the majority of you are getting ready for the funeral.
actually, wasn't it Tinuel who was the youngest one, who was the wildest, strangest one, who was?
She's the wildest, strangest one, but it is Duvaniel who was speaking with you about stealing the
Okay.
lamp. Duvaniel's kind of the ringleader. She's also
I
the
see.
one that's quite magically adept.
Fantastic.
Um,
At what point shall I show up? Just
we'll
before the
say
funeral?
we'll say
Right
that
this morning?
yeah, that morning, as everybody's kind of getting ready for to head off to the burial, which is going to be at a line of barrows that are not too far, but probably about a mile or two distant, down in the woods, about a mile or two distant from the hall itself, and people are getting ready. Many of the warriors are sort of shaking off the hangover that they still have from the previous night's wake. And you are all getting ready to escort, decked out in your finest mail or other armor and weapons, and everything's polished and gleaming, getting ready to give Ingomar Axebreaker the escort of state that he deserves. And Narvi will say that's where you meet the rest of the companions, all except for Amras. So,
All right. So,
Amras,
yes.
you have spent most of the night sitting on the edge of the stockade, speaking with your elven companions in low voices, using the Sylvan tongue so that none are able to understand you. You have been slowly plotting how you will steal the Lamp of Balthi. Duvaniel says to you, "That is clearly no man-made artifact. If I had to guess, I would say, based on my studies with Ormol the lamp maker, that is a Feanorean lamp. If not made by Feanor, certainly made by one of the Noldor of old, Celebrimbor, or..."
But isn't it covered with like images of Gandalf and his little dwarves?
Oh,
I-
Amras, that's simply the outer covering that these fools and simpletons have put around it. Do you not see the light? That is no lamplight. The lamp of Balthi is not an oil lamp. It's not a fire. It burns with the light. It shines with the light of the stars. That light is ours by right.
But don't we have other lamps?
Not like this.
Couldn't we?
Long ago, there were 2 lamps which were forged by Celebrimbor, given to the people of the woods, to King Olafir. They guarded the entrance to his fortress, the place which is now called Dol Guldur. But when the elves went north, they are said to have taken the lamps with them, but they were attacked by the werewolf of Mirkwood, who hates the light of the lamps, and the lamps were lost. One of them, some servants, errand runners of the Elven King, actually Asfred and Narvi were among them, found within the lair of the werewolf of Mirkwood, smashed and destroyed. But the other has never been accounted for. these lamps have great ability to repel creatures of darkness. And I think that is why these little hovels of the woodmen have lasted as long as they have. That light is ours by right,
I mean,
and it will hang beautifully upon the slopes of our mountains. Think of it, Amras. We can make our vineyards a place where no creature of evil will ever dare to come.
I mean, you could also buy some lamps from the lamp maker.
Such
I
things are far beyond Ormul's craft.
Well, I know. I know I'm a wayward elf, and I am.
Now,
Woman's heart.
Amras, I just want to remind you, you are having a bout of madness.
Well then,
So what Duvaniel is saying makes a lot of sense to you.
all right, then let's jack their lamp and let them all die, swarmed over by creatures of darkness. I need voice.
They all kind of look at you like they all kind of look at you like a little like, whoa, simmer down, man. Even for wayward elves, that was a little intense.
Werewolves and orcs.
We do not wish them.
Ogres and trolls.
What are you doing with your hands?
That's my orc hand.
All right.
The horrible
Anyone else
fingernails.
covered it that he's also weirding out the elves?
Is that a something you've learned from the half dwarf?
No!
No, I learned that directly from some trolls and Mirkwood myself.
Oh, the shiitake trolls.
No, I was another troll.
Oh, all right. In any case, it's not important. We need to get that lamp. Now, this morning, when dawn arrives, most of them will be off at the funeral, and the lamp will be, I suspect, very poorly guarded. It should be no problem at all to put those guards to sleep. And then we can take the lamp.
Now, when you say put to sleep, do you mean in like the more like humans who actually close their eyes and go, or do you mean like sleep forever?
The first thing, I think...
I mean, we are robbing a place during a funeral, so
We are not...
basically anything is on the table, and including Ingemer.
We are...
No.
This is like corrupt elf.
We are not
wisdom.
robbing.
Hello,
We are
lady.
reclaiming what is ours.
Okay, cool. Let's not sleep at night.
Oh.
Are you going to be alright?
I have had some really crappy wine. Twice in a row. But you know what? This is how it's supposed to be.
Amras.
Those
Once-
woodmen screwed us over like what? 204 a long time ago, before any of us were alive.
Truly,
Let's screw them back.
your grasp of chronology is quite impressive.
Oh.
Listen, Amras. Once we have the lamp, our vineyards will be safe for thousands of years, and you and I can make wine and song on the hillsides together.
Was there a you and I? I mean, was there a you and I part of this? I feel like
She kind of looks at you. Amras. I did mean all of us. You know, just like together as elves. But this is no time to speak of such things.
okay. Well,
We have our people to think of first.
I mean, also our wine.
Sure, that's
Rescuing
I
our heritage, saving our booze. Yeah, elf time.
so just so that you understand, we're taking the lamp, and we're taking it away to our vineyards.
The lamp. We are robbing the Woodmen during
No.
our funeral because we are good people.
All right. Would you like to wait outside the stockade and maybe?
Nope. I have been in that hall numerous times. I know, Anna. You know what? I bet I can
mean,
climb up that rope like a spider.
It's just sort of a large rectangle. So
The
the
lamp?
hole.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm good with rectangles. I'm good with squares. You can do circles, hexagons, octagons. You're crazy, man. I'm there.
So
Wow.
do you want to wait
This is
outside
just like
the
that episode of Leverage.
stockade with Odir, or do you want to come with me?
You know what? Apparently, this is a you and me thing, so we should do this. Yeah.
All right. In the meantime. All right. So for the rest of you, dawn comes. You shake off shake the sleep out of your eyes. Maybe some of you shaking off hangovers from the previous night's festivities, depending on just how actively you partook in the wake. And at dawn, you find yourselves standing outside, ready to accompany the procession of state down the hill and off into the forest towards the Barrow line. Is there anything any of you would like to do before you go?
We need to actually play out giving we already did the giving Redagast a better address, right?
What better address? How did you obtain a better address?
Like, I didn't know the name of the city, but I think
The southern
Moonin
vales of
probably.
Anduin.
I knew Moonin knew it.
The Southern Vales of the Anduin is like a region, not a city.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's a closer region. So we're
No,
going with
that's what
region.
you told him last time, and he was like, "So I'm just gonna send birds to every single village of the Vales of Anduin," and you're like, "We'll come back with a more precise address."
And we came back and said, nope, that was as close as we could get. So yeah, that was.
Yeah, I'm in Colorado Springs.
Narvi's going to find the gang after everyone gets sleep out of their eyes and before the funeral, and they're going to fill him in on everything. So go ahead, fill me in.
Okay. How early is this? Like, how early is the procession?
Oh, it's like probably about 8:45, 44.
I mean the actual.
The procession leaves the gates of Wuduseld at dawn.
So, yeah.
How close to the equator are we?
I mean, I can work out the exact latitude and longitude if we really need it, but I don't think that we do. So
Okay. So this is a little before dawn.
yes, it's a little before dawn.
So,
Why?
yeah.
Did you just want to derail the game? Okay, you did. All right.
What, me? No.
Narvi.
I want, before any action starts, I want Narvi to be filled in on stuff. I'm not trying to
Sure.
Oh.
derail the game.
So you
It's
guys
the
meet.
logical
You guys
way
meet
to
up
do it.
with Narvi after the discussion that you had the previous evening, which Narvi was not there for.
Yeah.
Um,
Probably actually looking for Narvi.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, he was necessary and wasn't there.
So Narvi,
Yes.
what was the last you heard about your road?
The last I heard about my road, I believe Mobdrid and his band of scoundrels were repairing and taking toll on it.
All right. So band of scoundrels. Okay. And you can keep an eye on them.
Not as much as I would like. You know as well as I do that I haven't been by the road as much as I would like with the different quests we've been on.
Yes, the quests. Narvi, have you ever heard of Dol Guldur?
Of course, I've heard of Dol Guldur.
It's being rebuilt with stones from your road.
Oh. Well, that's not good.
No, Narvi, it's not.
Mogdrid?
Large chunks of stone have been removed from the road and moved, we believe, to begin the rebuilding of Dol Guldur. Large chunks, Narvi, a lot of it.
Chunks.
Yes.
Surely. Okay then. Well,
Trying to Mo has his eye on the position of warlord of the Woodmen. And if we would
has his eye on what position did you say?
warlord of the Woodmen, Ingemar was the warlord. He is Mokdred's father, and Mokdred would like to claim the position for himself, and he has some support. If we wish to keep him from becoming the warlord of the Woodmen, then we must find a good reason to keep this from happening. If he is stealing stones from the Dwarven Road, we would have some sort of evidence that this wouldn't be news to you.
But why would they take stones from the Dwarven Road all the way to Dol Guldur? Surely, much nearer there is good or better a source of stones. It's quite a way to travel with stones.
I think there's something special about the stones used in the Dwarven Road. It's not like you can just get ancient materials like that from anyone.
I'm gonna say I'm also there. Is that all right?
Sure.
The stones from the road have already been carved and made into. I lost my accent. Oh well. Made into stones to like bricks, building things. Also, there's proof. I mean,
What's the proof?
The
Kaelina's men have seen it. His
Oh.
scouts have seen it.
Oh no, I'm not doubting the report. I'm simply trying to reason as to why they're using those stones. Well, we certainly must find a way to have this stopped, and I have no proof, but I certainly suspect Mogdred has a part and
But
is
if you-
finding some way to profit from this.
If you were to go see the road and make and find see this for yourself, you would have a much stronger voice than any one of us in the council or in the amidst the hall. I don't know what the technical right term for that is.
Well, this is
Okay.
true. How long do we have before? How long do we have before the before he would present his case to become warlord of the Woodmen?
24 hours, wasn't it? That'll be the next day.
It'll be at the end of the funeral, which is 4 days total. Today's the funeral, and the feast is the next 3 days after that.
Is somebody taking good notes?
Nope.
I'm taking
I
video.
Yeah, there's video.
Well,
I probably won't be.
Writing notes. I know they're
well,
And
as I certainly should pay my respects at this funeral. Unfortunately, it sounds like this matter is quite urgent and needs to be attended to right away. How far, OC, how far away are we from, where are we located right now?
You're located at Woodmen Hall.
At Woodman Hall, which is, where in regards to the, right there, okay. Yeah.
You're a little bit south of the Old Forest Road.
About,
Um,
about a day south or so.
it's about 40 miles north.
So a couple days.
Um, well, 40 miles. In Mirkwood, that's probably 2 days.
Yeah.
But you don't have any idea of exactly where stone, if any, has been hauled away from.
Well, it's logical that it would be on the western side near Belvedere. Let's see.
Which way is the river running? Is it going?
Who might? Who
The
would
river
know?
runs downstream towards Blacktarn Hall.
Okay,
South.
so they're on south. Okay, so that'd be a pretty easy way to move that stone.
So who would know where the chunks of stone are missing from?
Secret Agent Warsaw would know
Song
that.
is the one who brought the news.
Yeah.
War song
The
is?
scouts.
Da-da-da.
Yeah. It is War Song actually, right? Or was it
Yeah,
not?
war song.
Well, I think that I should have a chat with War Song. We got time before the funeral begins,
Sure.
right?
You do find Warsong in her in Kay Winna the Generous's retinue, and she's kneeling in front of Sigaroon, who when Warsong kneels, Sigaroon is like a head taller than her, but she's kneeling in front of her dog, and she's made him to sit, and she's instructing. Now, Sigaroon, when the singing starts, you cannot howl along this time. It would be very inappropriate for you to do that, like you usually do every time whenever anyone starts singing. So you have to be very quiet. Do you understand, Sigaroon? Good boy. Good boy. Oh!
War Song.
Oh! Hello, Oh, you remember my name! I mean,
Yes.
of course you remember my name, Road Warden. I've actually been trying to speak with you for the last day or two, but you've been preoccupied.
Well, I'm here now.
Amras
What-
tells me that you are engaged.
Amras tells you that I am engaged.
Yes, I don't know what it is you're engaged in exactly, but he said you were engaged, and that's why you were busy.
Well, at the moment, I am engaged in finding out what has happened to my road.
Oh,
Can you
yes.
tell me what you have seen?
Well, I mean, I haven't seen anything exactly, but 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 Captain Maglor of the Scouts of the Southern Wild went north to have a look at the road, and he's the one who saw that they were hauling away some of the stone from the road and maybe from some of the old way stations around the road. And
Who was pulling it away?
oh, he said it was the men of Tyrant's Hill.
In a Terrence Hill. Those are Mogul's men.
Oh, hi, yes. And he thought that was very suspicious since they were supposed to be helping rebuild the road, not cart it away. And so he was going to tell Radagast, and that's when he was waylaid by a spider. And the spider was waiting for a wicked woman whom Asfred says you've run into before. And we managed to rescue him, and it's all very complicated, but I think the gist of it is that I don't exactly know how this works, like if your road is made of magical stones or something, but I don't know what the men of Tyrant's Hill are doing with all that stone, but I can't imagine it's anything good.
Where is Captain Maglor now?
Captain Maglor of the Scouts of the Southern Wild?
Yes.
uh, I, I, he sort of comes and goes as he pleases, and when he comes and goes, he typically nobody sees him. Radagast might know where he is, but he tends to stay pretty far afield. I've been trying to find you to tell you this for quite some time now.
For how long? How long ago was this?
Oh, this was I guess 2 or 3 months ago now. No, it was just before this. It was just before the start of the year. But Maglor thinks that they'd been doing it for a long time before then. But you were not on the road. Kaywin sent out messengers for you, but apparently you were in Lake Town doing something with Amras.
Hmm. If I were to look for Captain Maglor, where should I start?
Well, he's the captain of the Scouts of the Southern Wild, so I suppose the Southern Wild.
Southern Wild?
So anywhere between the north of Mirkwood and the south of Mirkwood. I mean, I don't have him like on a leash or something.
Yeah.
I'm not putting you on a leash either, Sigarun. I told you if you were good, we would. I'm sorry. I told you if you were good, we wouldn't have to do that again.
Very well. Thank you, Warsaw, for your help. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Road Warden.
Um,
I know he does sort of smell like a dwarf, doesn't he?
would Radagast be at this funeral? Or probably not.
Radagast is there. He's officially one of the lords of the Woodmen. It's sort of an honorary thing, but attending a funeral is the sort of the thing you do under those circumstances.
So, if I find Radagast, he might know where Captain Maglor is, and Captain Maglor could share that the men of Terrence Hill were stealing stones from my road.
Sounds legit.
Or I could go up to the road, which would take 2 days, and then come back down from the road, which would take another 2 days.
There's a lot of ponies in
Sometimes
this
4
town.
days.
Get a ride.
I don't ride.
Not on those ponies, you don't.
Yeah.
It's not really my thing. I could send my bird, but I should probably go there myself. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Are you saying all this out loud?
Yes.
Amras is not there to suggest ponies, so.
It's true.
Valeri had a good point. You may have the strongest case against Moonin. Wait, I'm Moonin. You may have the strongest. I was doing something with Amras last night.
This is true. I must go to the road at once. If I do, can the lot of you try to find Captain Maglor and have him agree to share what he saw the men of Terrence Hill doing to the road?
We are also looking for evidence of the potential murder of Ingomar, whose funeral we are attending.
Well, we can do both.
Well, if we are searching for... What's his name?
Captain Maglor.
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 If we're searching for Maglor, we would be here. If you were to go to the road yourself, perhaps your Raven through more precise directions as to where on the road you should travel to.
Yes, this is true.
Or perhaps your Raven could send word back after you get there, so you don't have to travel back.
Well,
Do you really need to see it on your own? Can't you not use the information that others have brought to you?
No, I think I need to see it.
we haven't much time before the vote. If you take 2 days to go and 2 days to come back, you might not be back in time.
Well, this is true. It it may be a risk that needs to be taken. If you can, if we can find Captain Maglor, his testimony may buy enough time for me to return, cast enough doubt on Mogdred's position for me to uh, for him to not be voted the warlord.
So, okay, out of character. Warsong did just say she didn't see it personally. Is that right?
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
So the only person that saw it personally is this Maglor guy, and we don't know where he is. He's somewhere between the north and south of Mirkwood.
Yeah,
and
Maglor
he's
was
a difficult
kidnapped
person
by
to
the
find.
spider because he was trying to take news of the dwarf road back because he saw it. And so
Right.
the spider caught him and was holding him for um, uh, dark eye evil lady names. Morwen, sorry.
Morgan.
Yes, not Lahima.
Yeah.
They've taken
So
enough
the
trips
reason.
to know that they don't take the normal amount of time that you think they will. They'll take much longer. You'll be gone for when you need to be here.
Yep.
There's no way you'll be able to make it back in time.
Well, I can.
You can send your bird if you trust your bird.
I can take uh, a horse and wagon.
Did Narvi come with a group of dwarves?
I don't think he would have come with a group. As the road warden, he's probably here on behalf of his people.
What about
yeah.
his beautiful bride? Where is she?
She is
She's
not
back
his
in
bride quite yet,
Oh,
and she's back in Lake Town.
I see.
But I could take a horse up, and it would probably shorten the time.
Horses do not travel in Mirkwood.
Yep.
Well, if I go around the side of Brookwood, can I do that, or is that not possible?
You want to
If I
head
travel along
west to the edge of
yeah.
Mirkwood, buy a horse somewhere from the Beornings, I guess, and then head back up to the Old Wharf Road and try to approach it from there. Because at that point, you're looking at a much longer trip than what you were talking about.
Am I okay?
Can you?
Well, then never mind. So there's not really a faster way.
Not probably not short of just walking straight up there.
Yeah, it's going to take a couple days, at least. Gosh, I don't know what to do.
Can you bluff?
Can I bluff?
You know it's happening. Can you stand there and tell them it's happening?
Ooh,
Maybe if I had a
I
witness.
don't think that is a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, if I have, you need evidence to stand against someone as well connected as Mirkwood. So I think maybe if I don't have time to go up there,
Minute.
finding Radagast and getting Mac, see if he can give us a beat on Maglor, would probably be the best bet. So that's what I'm going to do.
I'd bluff, but alright then.
What did you decide to do? Sorry.
I'm going to track down Radagast and see if he has an idea of where I might find Maglor.
All right, so you find Radagast. He's actually standing up towards the front of the procession, along with Keowina and Amaleota and the Lord of Mountain Hall, and actually Mogdred.
I'm going to humbly approach Radagast and ask if he can walk with me.
What seems to be troubling you, Road Warden?
Well, I'm sure you have heard of what has been becoming of the stones along my road, and what evil purpose they have been used for.
I have heard rumors, yes.
Well, I am trying to put a stop to it, and I feel that the man that can help me is I have no idea where to look for him. Captain Maglor.
I see. Young Warsong has been talking.
She has. She's good at that.
Yes, Captain Maglor is the chief of the Scouts of the Southern Wild. I rely on him greatly for knowledge about what passes through Mirkwood and the lands south of the ford.
Well, if Warsong's report of what Maglor had told her is correct, the men of Terrence Hill, under Modred's command, as they're his men, have been taking stones from the road which they had contracted to rebuild, and those same stones are turning up, are turning up at Dogodur. Now, I cannot. I have not seen the men working on the road myself, but if I have the testimony of one who has, I may be able to stop Mogdred, if his intent is evil, from growing even more powerful.
That would mean revealing my project to Mogdred and perhaps to other ears as well. The Scouts of the Southern Wild are still, at this day, something of a secret. Maglor left several days ago now from Rosgobel, heading south through the narrows of the forest. His destination, as far as I know, it was Minas Raug. It would take him 2 or 3 weeks at the very least to get him here to Woodland Hall.
Very well then. Well, I suppose my only option then is to travel at the greatest speed I can to the Old Forest Road and hope I can see evidence of this myself.
I will send what word I can to friends in that direction, but the forest road passes under the shadows of the mountains of Mirkwood, and there are many things there which are not friendly to us.
I have made their acquaintance in times past.
Indeed. Good luck, Road Warden. I
Thank you.
will do as much as I can to stall the proceedings here, but it has always been my policy not to interfere in the affairs of the Woodmen. If they would
understand.
reject the shadow, they must do so out of their own volition.
I understand your policy, and it is good that you do not wish to sway them, but I hope that I can.
All right, so
Or-
are you sticking around for the funeral, Narvi? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, that's fine. No, I think that I am going to head north to the Old Forest Road, as it seems like that is my only option at this point. Unless anyone has a better idea than me.
Take somebody with you.
Sure. If anyone wants to volunteer.
I think
Good.
Amras is previously occupied, but I mean, Moonin and Asford sort of are representatives of their respective regions. Idis and Illyri might be available though.
Well, Idis would also be representative.
Okay.
Idis and Moonin are here representing Dale. Potentially only one person is needed for that, so
Oh, I see.
if you wanted to send one of them, you could.
Well, whoever is best. If Idis is best, then she can go.
Okay.
What about Illyri?
Either way is fine with me. It may be a suicide mission. I mean, we're traipsing through Mirkwood, and when our whole gang has traipsed through Mirkwood before, we've almost died.
Yeah, no, like I said, you should at least take Illyri,
Yeah.
but probably also someone else.
War song.
Well,
Yes, war song should come.
And she also
I don't think I'm going to ask Warsong if she wants
I will
to.
ask her.
Hey,
Illyri's gonna go find war song.
Thank you.
All right, Sigurd.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
let's split
How
the
would
party.
you like to go traipsing through
Really?
Mirkwood with us
Right now,
right now?
but there's gonna be a funeral and then a feast.
I understand, and yeah, that feast is calling my name, but we have to do this now. There's a time. I know.
That was the dog.
I know. We don't have much time. We have to do it now or not at all. It's about the old forest road. We need to go see if we can find the evidence for ourselves, so we can bring it back and present it.
I mean that does seem very important. And
We cannot send the road warden by himself. He'll just get himself killed. But with you and I, we could protect him.
and Sigaroon.
And Sigaroon.
I would have to ask Lord Keowina.
All right. Can you do that now? Before they start?
I don't think we have very long, but I'll ask him.
Alright.
If it's something that needs to be done, then certainly I'm the right person to pick for the job because on account of
Aye.
being so right that. All right, so she and Sigaroon head off towards the front of the column to speak with Lord Keowina just before the funeral gets started. And as they go off, Illyri, Illyri, give me an awareness roll.
Okay.
Okay, you hear Sigaroon growls a little bit. She does kind of smell like a dwarf, doesn't she?
No, I knew you were gonna do that. Oh, I'm not a dwarf. Stop saying that. I don't smell like a dwarf. douse herself off with some water.
In the armpits.
Yeah.
Dunlending hygiene. Well, now that we got the bathing montage for this game set, hopefully we can get on with things.
When next Warsong sees her, she smells way too much like perfume.
Warsong comes back after a few minutes. All right. Lord Kaewina says that if Radagast is asking, then he doesn't mind if I go. Just maybe don't let my brother find out till after we leave. I don't think he would let me go.
What's wrong about the brother?
Your brother?
Take issue.
Well, Allard Woodgoer, he's actually very experienced traveler, but I don't think that he would let me go with you. So,
What if he came with us?
I mean, I mean, we can do this on our own.
But, I mean... Alright. Would he come if you asked him?
I mean, if I asked him, he would probably say this was a terrible idea and not let me go.
Alright then,
So-
let's go without him then.
It's probably for the best.
Does he have parents?
She does have parents.
He has parents who would be so mad.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I mean, she's not like a baby, right? I
No.
mean, she's at least like 15 or something.
He's like
18 or 19?
17.
She's like 17 now, yeah.
18, I think.
18.
I just feel like we're worried about the brother, and there's probably other people.
All right, so y'all meeting back up with me, so we can take off.
All right, so the three of you are taking off. You are bogarting the funeral.
I'm kind of.
Did I use
I'm
that
kind of-
right?
Look, when I
Is
see
that what that
Warsong,
means?
I don't really
don't
know.
That's not what that means.
I don't really know. So you guys are so you guys are ditching the funeral and you're heading off north to
Yeah.
the Old Forest Road. Are you just going in the straightest line possible? What's the plan?
well, there's not really a path, right? Or is there?
Yeah, not not really at this point.
So I
Okay, to
guess,
bogart something is to take over something.
Okay, so you're not doing that.
We
So
would
Th-
be
thank you,
taking over
Amanda.
the funeral. No problem.
So yeah, I guess the straightest line possible, unless we are aware of that straight line taking us through more dangers than a slightly unstraight line.
No, I mean, there are no safe paths through Mirkwood, but
Yeah.
let's see
So yeah,
here.
shortest distance. I mean, looking at the map, I know that those big trees aren't actual trees, but if they were, we'd be going in between those two trees.
Sure.
Right there.
In between
Because it looks
those
like a
two
path.
trees.
Well, it looks like an opener path, a more open path right there versus on the side.
Cinder Crow.
Yeah, I am actually going to, my Raven of the Mountain. You better be glad he didn't hear that. I'm going to send Corbin on ahead and
Do you want to give do you want to give me, do you have either the Mirkwood lore trait or do you want to give me a lore roll to make an estimate about the journey?
Yeah. Let me see what I got.
I would also take a travel roll for this. Just to see what you know about the route.
Yeah, let me do a travel roll as part of expect.
Come on, Sauron. Come on. I mean,
Oh.
so with an extraordinary success, Narvi, you know that from where you are right now, it will take you about 7 days to reach the Old Dwarf Road,
What?
traveling through the thick woods of Mirkwood.
What?
Is there a faster way?
It will take 6 days.
I thought it only took a couple of days.
You went
Is that what you
20.
said a second ago?
Well,
Yeah,
that would be 40 miles, like on a good road. I was doing the actual travel math just now. Let's see. 1, 2.
Okay. Well, you know this now. Are we still doing this? That's 12 days there and back.
Oh wait. Sorry.
That's an oh wait, that means more time, by the way, just in case you hadn't caught that.
7. See, if you went 20 miles in so it'll if you wanted to, you could spend 2 days going west, and then you would have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see here. Then you'd have to go 100 miles north on foot over easy
Oh. This
in
map must not be to
Borderland.
scale.
It is. Traveling through Mirkwood is really slow. So
No, I mean, that's not what I mean. If
you could go.
we go to the west 2 days to get out of Mirkwood, and then it's 100 miles north. But if we go straight from Woodmen Hall up to the Old Forest Road, it's only 40 miles.
Yeah, because you're looking at going straight versus going out and then all the way up
right, but
to here. So because you have to arc out up like this. So it ends up being 100 miles. The map is to scale. Like, I'm counting hexes.
no, I'm not talking about your map. I'm talking about the map that I'm looking at with on the main screen.
The map that you're looking at the main screen is the same map that I am looking at minus the hexes, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, it's missing a few details, but yeah, basically it'll
Because
take you.
according to this map, it's only 5 feet to the north. It's if
1,
I
2,
travel the amount of
3,
distance.
4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, it's 70 miles north, not 100 miles north. Which is gonna take you. So basically, if you go, it's 2 days out to here, and then 70 miles north to here, versus 40 miles north to here, straight through the woods.
Okay.
If you do the 70 miles north over the Old Forest Road, you're gonna be going over Borderlands. That's gonna take you 4 days. So you're still looking at either 6 days here or 6 days here, regardless of which route you take.
Well, then I'll take the route that goes through less of Mirkwood.
Okay, so you would. So just so we're clear,
Go to the west.
what you're doing is you're gonna go 2 days west to get out of Mirkwood. You're gonna head north, basically along the outskirts of the road to the outskirts of the forest to the old ford, or not
Right.
not to the old ford, but to that level where the road is,
Right.
and
Yeah,
then you're
slightly
gonna
north,
just
I know.
start on the western end of the road and go and go and go.
Okay, the difference is though, where is Dol?
Dolguldur is pretty much exactly south.
Dol
of that
Guldur is
road.
way down here.
So they've been going from what? I agree with Narvi's what from earlier.
So yeah, so that's.
Wait, where's
But
Dol
we've been
Guldur?
through that already.
Down
Down
here
here.
in southern Mirkwood.
So yeah, that's way farther.
This is a long way to travel with rock. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. But Corbin's going to fly ahead and look at the road and see if he can find an area of the road while we're traveling that has been.
So y'all are going to the road, and it's going to take a minimum of 6 days to get there. The vote's supposed to happen in 4 days, and you're taking the closest person that we have for evidence with you, along with the actual road warden.
We don't
That
have a person for evidence.
We have Warsong, which is
It's
the
the
closest.
closest that you have.
But Warsong's second-hand evidence is not going to be enough in front of a council with
But what I'm
Yeah,
saying is,
with
you
more
will 100% for sure not be back for the vote, and there won't be a road warden to say we need to check this out with the authority of the road warden. There won't be Warsong to say, well, there are, pretty solid rumors that something's wrong. You're taking all of the evidence, what little there is, with you, and ensuring that you will not be there for the vote.
Well, Radagast said he tried to stall them.
He also said he didn't meddle in the affairs of the Woodmen.
I
Are
agree.
you trying to make a case for not going?
Yes, before there was a good
If you
like
go, then
Yeah.
then this avenue of proving that Mogdred is up to no good will be closed.
when it was 2 days there and 2 days back, there was a slight chance we could do this. There is not
When
anymore.
it's typing. Sorry.
You're right. Okay. We will not go upon further uh, evidence. Yes. Knowing how far it actually is does make a difference.
And the crow can tell you exactly where it is. That
Yep.
if you bring it up, you can say this is the area that we need to check.
That's
This is true. So that's what I will do. I will send Corbin north to the old forest road.
Which he should be pretty familiar with.
So he can identify the area that there is stones being taken away, and if there are people currently out there taking stones away. The problem is it'll be tough to get hard evidence after Mogdred knows that we're looking for hard evidence. In other words, if I express suspicions to the council, then
Yes.
we'll never be able to prove it because Modred will just tell his men to stop faster than we can get up there.
But it's hard versus impossible, because it's impossible right now to get the evidence there in time.
So,
Never say impossible.
Moonin, Moon and Idis, what is y'all's opinion on all of this as it is being argued in front of you?
I guess I'm thinking that with what we have, if it's not like grossly inappropriate to do so, we should probably present our case with our suspicions to see if there's any way we can delay what is happening, and then just see where that gets us. And then the other option, which is probably a long shot, is that we have more of a geographical location to send a scout from Radagast for this errand than for the other one, correct? Could we reallocate that? Or
it's not a scout, it's a bird. We were sending a bird with a message, which is the same thing that he's doing with his bird, only his bird is a little more talkative.
Yeah.
Abby, go to bed.
Well, then the only other
I
thing
didn't see
I'm
that.
thinking is that we could attempt to try. Did we ever get a better location for Radagast to send?
Not really.
You did not.
Probably at least attempt to get a better location and see where that
How would
gets
you?
us.
How would you though?
We don't have anywhere we can get a location from because the guy that saw it is out. It would be harder to find than us going to the road and
not the
checking it
address
out
she's talking
ourselves.
about. She's not talking about the road, Jonathan.
Oh, sorry.
So, question for you, Richard.
Yep.
You said last week that the wine merchant that kind of comes through here, Ulfar, am I remembering?
Ulfgar.
Ulfgar. Is he here?
He's not.
Are there any other merchants that may be here for the feast that would also run south into the Vales of Anduin and may be able to give us a better...
There are always traders going up and down the Vales of Anduin, and many of them bring goods to or buy goods from the Woodmen. The center for that kind of trade is actually the hold on, I got it here in me notes. The center for that kind of trade is typically it's right around the Gladden Trader's Island. Trader's Island is located it's a refuge of the river folk of Anduin, and is located right about here. And that is the place where the Beornings, the woodsmen, people like that tend to bring goods and fine wares to sell and to buy, and thence trade passes from thence down the Vales of Anduin. So I'm sure you could find someone who had been, like as far as merchants go, I'm sure you could find someone who's been down that way before if you were to spend some time asking around.
Okay. Well, I agree with Itis. There's plenty of things we could be doing right now here.
All right, so I can't see Jonathan anymore.
That's neither.
Okay.
He might be up. So.
Okay. All right, so is the consensus then that you guys are not rushing out in the middle of the funeral?
Let's double. Yeah, I think we're not. But Jonathan, he was wrangling their butter away. So.
All right.
Ben.
No, Amanda.
So, Warsong comes over to you, Illyri. All right, well, I think I'm all ready to go now. I've got me pack and my water skin, and a few traits for Sigaroon. And Sigaroon may have actually taken a few more treats than he was supposed to have. So maybe the sooner we left, the better. I don't want people to miss those pies for the feast.
Well, so actually calculated how long it would take to get there, and
At least a week.
Yeah, knew that.
Of course I knew that. I
Why
kind of
didn't
grew
you
up.
think so?
Nobody asked me.
Well, we cannot go because we have to be back in 4 days, and we won't be back in 4 days if go and leave for 2 weeks.
So about
So we're
those.
staying, and they're gonna miss the pies. Do you know how to make pies?
I mean, not with that kind of speed. All right, I'll figure something
neither.
out. Maybe Lord Kaewin has got something in his house that we can. Sigaroon
Can
just
we
kind of
rearrange it?
shakes his head.
Like it's
Okay.
mess?
All right. Very good. I'll just
I didn't know.
maybe go take care of that now. So thank you for telling me that we're right. Okay. And we lost Amanda. All right. And so with that, the
Well, that's not ominous.
I know.
yes.
When the Mara was asking after you personally.
That's right. That's your character.
You. All right, and so after much deliberation, the rest of the funeral party seems eager to set out, and you begin.
Spare this poor man.
You begin moving out a long serried rank of spears, gleaming in the dawn, the red light of dawn, as it is just cresting over the misty mountains as it is just cresting over the mountains far off in the east. And slowly you begin to file out through the gates. Some of the woodmen catch up a solemn song of battle and of valor, commemorating the deeds of Ingomar Axebreaker. As you head off towards the line of barrows, the place where the brave of Woodland Hall have been buried for many generations now. You arrive, and everyone sort of takes their place around the barrow as the bier is brought forward and laid down right at the end where no barrow stands. And there have been a large number of stones which have been piled off to one side, and as well as a large mound of mold or earth which has been piled. There are several spades lying next to it as the woodmen get ready to inter their ward leader. And a young girl steps forward, red-haired with bright green eyes, and she lifts her head up, swallows a bit, almost as if a little nervous. She couldn't be more than 14 or 15 years old, but when she begins to sing, her song is deep and sonorous and sorrowful, as she sings to commemorate the deeds of Ingomar Axebreaker. It is a long lay, but in part it runs: Ingomar Axebreaker, atheling ever good, many moons the men of the wood ruled, rightly rings of gold dealt from dais in the doom seat. None more mighty, by men renowned, warded the ward folk in the west country. Gifts he gave them, goodly chieftain, warrior worthy in the weapon throng. Daring he dealt out doleful strokes, felled his foes like forest saplings, when the hateful hosts came hunting westward from the forest's furthest vales. Dark days, dire perils, Ingomar Axebreaker all withstood. Serried spears like sea waves broke upon the bit of axe, keen crafted edge of cold iron. Fierce hosts of Fenbridge, carrion hungry corpse eaters, fearful fled from fell Ingomar, black and bloody, till broke his axe. So should chieftains, champions ever, folk wardens in fearful battle, lords lead beloved people, chosen chieftain, by men most cherished. And as she finishes her song, she steps back behind a much older woman who appears to be her mother. And is there anything any of you would like to say or do to commemorate the life of the fallen?
I think that's why Moonin was sent south, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. If no one, I mean, does anyone else want to say something first? Moonin's not the guy who's going to go first, so.
I mean, I guess Idis would say something respectful. I don't necessarily have anything written, but whatever is proper and correct, Idis would stand.
Will step forward, and she also has a song.
All right.
Ingomar Axebreaker routed the orcs, led all his people to drive them by force, away from our homes and families. His axe bit did break with the lives he did take. Ingomar Axebreaker with courage led, loved by his people, but orcs they did dread, to meet him again on the field of his death will be borne long, life remembered in song. She nods her head to where the body has been laid and steps respectfully.
Moonin will kind of head up, and he looks for where, or I look for where Marovich and Mogdred are standing, and I pick the two of them out.
Okay. They're not standing particularly close to each other because
No, but I mean,
Mirovich.
I just
Yeah.
I am Moonin, son of Nevstin, sent here on behalf of King Bard of Dale, and man, a few words. But Lord Ingleman Axebreakers, the measure of his valor and wisdom, the Lord of the Woodland Hall, has reached far over the lands of Mirkwood. And I was sent to say that his passing dims the whole of the land, inspiring those left behind to shine like lamps, to brighten from his example. And I'll look at Marovich. In uncertain times, we often look to those who seem hard enough to guide us. And I'll look towards Mogdred, gripping the haft just where I'm standing of Wormslaga, maybe a little bit tighter. But oppression is not wisdom, no matter how high it's heaped. And without the light of wisdom, the flower of men's deeds wither. It is said in Dale that where one bell tolls, many soon follow. And so I would toll to the deeds of Inglemere Axebreaker.
Give me an inspire roll, Moonin.
Might I use the trait leadership?
You might use the trait leadership. So you're going to use that for an automatic success?
We're back.
I will use that for an automatic success.
All right. So Moonin and Astrid, you both have one bonus dice to use in any social encounters with the Woodmen for the remainder of the adventuring phase.
Cool.
All right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. After the procession has left the
Hi.
gates. Hey! So after the procession has left the gates,
If I can't hear them.
Do either Nardi or either of
we'll come back to the funeral if they want to say something. You can catch them up in chat if you want to. So, Ben, Amras.
I see.
After the procession leaves the gates of the stockade around Wuduseld, Duvaniel and the other elves who have been sort of sitting in the shadows, and actually the wayward elves. There are elves who are officially here from King Thranduil, and they're off with the procession. But the wayward elves themselves, and they're the official elves, the proper elves, if you will, with whom you have spent no time, are led by a. They're led by. By Dairon, who's a very grave and wise elf lord, and he and 3 other elves of the wood are here to honor the passing of an ally. But Duvaniel and Oldir and Tunuel have all been have all been partying pretty hard actually at the wake. Like there was a lot of singing, a lot of dancing, and actually sort of mesmerizing many of the folk of Woodland Hall with their strange singing and their wild dancing, and just there's this spark of sort of danger to the way that they have been kind of recklessly celebrating the last day or two. And so nobody is like they haven't done anything outrageously improper, unlike you. But they're nobody really complains or gives it a second thought when they choose not to join the funeral procession. And so before long, you and Duvaniel are left standing within the alone, as it would seem, within the circuit of the of Woodland Hall, as the procession has now made its way out the stockade, down the hall, into the woods, and up at the hall there are the doors of the hall are open, and you can see inside the clear light of the lamp spilling out. And it's just you and Duvaniel standing here. Oldir and Tunuel, as agreed, have gone off to watch the gate. Are you ready to do this?
I was born ready
Very good.
400 years ago, so I guess maybe I was born for this or something.
Then, my friend, let us...
Oh, we're friends now. Making progress.
Let us sing our way up to the hall. And looping her arm in yours, she begins kind of dancing merrily up towards the entrance to the hall, singing a song. And at first, the song that she's singing seems to be one of simple things: spring, moonlight on the water, clear sylvan streams. But the theme of her song seems to move ever towards the theme of light, going from themes of like moonlight on water and dancing under the trees to the light of the stars, the light of the sun, the light of the moon, farther back to the days of the trees, and farther still back to the spring of Arda, when the two great lamps, Ormal and Iluin, were raised up to shine out over the spring of Arda. And as her song reaches this point, as she sings of the spring of Arda, of the seeds which Ivana had long prepared and now began to plant in the earth, as she sings of Vardas filling the lamps and the hallowing of them by Manwë as they were set upon the great pillars above the mountains of Middle Earth, you enter the hall, and there, kind of sitting idly, looking a little bored, a little disappointed, you see 4 woodmen who, as you enter and as they hear your song, they sort of spring up and turn towards you with wonder in their face. And before they can open their mouths to speak, they just sort of go still and listen to Duvaniel's song. And as she continues to sing, the light of the lamp of Balthi overhead begins to intensify till it is almost blinding, and you actually have to squint through the pure streams of light which are coming off the lamp to see the guards as they stagger backward, blinking blindly into the air. And as Duvaniel's song reaches a crescendo, she sings of the coming of Morgoth and the overthrowing of the lamps during the Feast of the Valar, and all of Middle-earth is plunged into darkness and fire. And with that, the song suddenly ceases. The light in the air shatters like a pane of glass, and all 4 of the woodmen drop unconscious to the floor.
Well, that's handy. I mean, I suspect now there is no getting away clean, but okay.
If you would, help me with a rope.
Okay.
So the lamp of Balthi, and you've not seen it. You didn't see this, Amras, but from before when you had to use the lamp to cure the River Maiden as a group, the lamp of Balthi is suspended from the rafters by a pulley and a very thick cable.
Gotcha.
And it's tied off to one of the posts, and there's typically somebody who's in charge of raising it, lowering it.
Okay.
So you go over and you kind of undo the cable and slowly let the lamp down. It's extremely heavy. The lamp itself is this very very lovely and well crafted. It appears to, you would guess it be of dwarven craftsmanship. This metal casing with stained glass panes, and each pane showing a part of the story of Balthi, the young boy who guided Gandalf the Grey through Mirkwood so many hundreds of years ago. And as you lower it down, Duvaniel kind of takes it and kind of swings it around and sets it on one of the tables. She undoes the latch and pulls the casement open. And reaching inside, she pulls something out, and as she pulls it out, at first it seems as though her hands are just full of pure, gleaming white light. But as your eyes adjust, you see that she is holding in her hand a smallish crystal lamp of very clear, not just elvish, but very clear Noldoran craftsmanship. And she says, "We found it at last. Let us go."
So, if I'm if I'm understanding this correctly, basically, you didn't need me at all. You just brought me along so now that the Woodmen can hate me too.
I don't
Cool.
understand. You said yourself we're in this together. This is for our people, Amras.
Yeah.
Besides,
You're right.
getting the lamp is the easy part. Getting it back to our mountains, that'll be trickier. I think they will be expecting us to go north, so we should do the opposite thing and go south. My thought is we'll take it to the Skybridge tree.
Okay. We can get my bout of madness be over. This is a terrible idea.
Actually, Amras, as you pass out of the hall with her, the haze and the heaviness that has sat upon your heart doesn't entirely lighten, and in fact you are still miserable because of the effects of the poison.
Yeah.
But your bout of madness is over.
Okay.
Perhaps it's the direct exposure to the lamp itself, burning with the holy light of the stars of the ancient world.
I'm standing there at the doors going, well, this was a terrible idea.
Come, Amras. We haven't a moment to lose.
Well, no. Here's what I think. I think, perhaps, this is a very bad idea, and that we'll be burning all the bridges that we may potentially need at some future point. For, I don't know, anything.
Amras, we do not need these mortals. Once we have the lamp, our wood will be ours again.
I don't think...
The creatures of darkness will not come near it, and we will be safe to sing our songs and dance under the moonlight and raise our children.
Still come. How...
Amras, are we really discussing this right now? These people are fleeting. They are mayflies to us.
Well, yes, but they're my friends.
That's lovely. You can still be friends with them, but now we have to go.
No, I can't. If I steal this, that's over. Forever.
With the lamp in hand, she takes off down the hill. What are you doing?
All right, I'm racing after her, and I am going to try and take this thing away from her.
Okay. Give me an athletics roll.
Yeah, because I'm getting too good at that when I'm miserable. Here we go. Yes!
Guess who's having another bout of madness?
Alright, let's screw all these people. Let's start something on fire!
You run after her, Amras. I don't even have to roll for her now. That's amazing. Also, that ups the hunt, so that's cool. Cool. Oh, man. That's just... It's the gift that keeps on giving. Okay.
The dice tell the story, buddy.
The dice do tell a story. I'm so sorry, Ben.
Why?
Amras, you sprint down the hill after her and kind of reach around to I'm sorry. I just can't believe that happened. Oh, that's 2 rolls in a row for you. You reach around the front of Duvaniel to try to pull the lamp from her, and as you do, your hands clasp around hers. And she just looks you in the eye. And she says, Amras, this is for our people. Too long has Thranduil allowed the mortals to dictate his policies.
What you're saying is I'm having a bout of madness, so I'm like falling in love?
You... No, but she's making a lot of sense.
Oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, right. Screw these poor mayfly hobos. It was gonna be a really nice feast, you know that?
It was, but think of the one that we'll have when we get this back.
It will
We
not
will
be-
dance for years under the starlight. None of these mortals could keep up with us anyway, right? Come on.
Alright, okay, cool. I'm crazy.
Wow.
Just
Alright, are there any torches around?
well, it's not night at this point, so probably not.
Okay, like any sort of like cooking fires or anything?
Are you just wanting fire?
I need fire.
I mean, there's always a fire in the hall.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna take that and I'm going to go over to their shed where all their booze is, and I'm going to throw that in there.
Okay.
Were you ready for this?
So you run back into the hall and you pull a brand. Give me a dagger roll, Amras.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna start myself on fire here.
No, it's just that I happen to have all the tables in front of me for how much damage different kinds of fire do. So,
14.
yep,
Hey, I can't even hit that.
cool. I'm gonna need you to give me a protection test.
Yep, starting myself on fire.
TN18.
That's armor or
Yep.
okay,
And
yeah.
if you roll another eye, just run burning into the shed.
Just put us all out of your misery.
There's no way I would do that.
All right, you take 12 points of damage. You lose 12 endurance as you fling open the door of the shed, and Duvaniel looking back at you in sort of dumbstruck horror as you toss this torch inside. There is this resounding boom as the alcohol fumes, which are like 80% of the atmosphere inside the shed, instantly ignite, and you are thrown back in an orange ball of fire from the entrance to the shed.
Well, it never be said that a wayward elf doesn't know how to party.
You also have 2 permanent shadow, by the way.
Okay.
So 1 in addition to the one you got from last bout of madness, which was the last time you rolled a dice.
Oh, okay. These two.
Yeah, so you have 2 total.
Cool.
I will say, however, No, I'm going to include that as part of your bout of madness. Yeah. All right. So at this point, you and Duvaniel looks at you kind of wide-eyed and says, "Are you mad? Now we've lost our."
Well, yes, I am mad. I'm very mad. I'm crazy. But
I don't know if I like this Amras or not. I mean, he's sort of.
this is what's called covering your escape. And hey, you know what? I was never going to be able to drink any of it. At least some of it was poisoned. You know what? We're all better off because I just did that.
All right.
Did you blow up the evidence that we needed then?
Yep.
You know what? I apparently am not going to be here for that whole party.
Poison wine was just blown up.
No, he gave the poison wine to Moonin, I think, because he had the flask under his arm. But like the whole barrel, yeah, maybe if there's more than one flask.
All right. So you run down the.
Smoking and on fire.
Yep. You run smoking and eyebrows rather singed. You make your way down the hill, and the four of you vanish southward into the woods. We'll come back to Moonin Amras in a little bit. Illyri and Narvi, is there anything you would like to contribute to the funeral? There were a couple of songs sung and a very nice speech given while you were absent. But is there anything you want to say on behalf of your people regarding Ingomar Axebreaker?
I'm thinking.
Amanda, you're
Amanda's
silent.
locked up. I see.
Hear me now?
Yep.
She's been locked up for a
I
long
don't think
time.
I'd have anything to contribute that would go well.
Okay.
We
So
we can
I
hear
would-
Amanda, Jonathan. I don't know if you can, but we can hear her.
Oh, I can't. That's weird.
You might
Okay, that's
reconnect, but yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You don't have to contribute. It's just if you would like to.
I mean, what kind of?
Just like a.
I can't hear Jonathan either. Hey, there's Jonathan.
Hey, all right. I just
Not
reconnected.
hearing
Glad you guys are talking again. So it's just if there's anything that you want to say on behalf of the people that you're here to represent regarding Ingomar. So maybe not necessarily you, Illyri, because you're not an emissary, but if there was something you wanted to say, you certainly could.
Well, I don't have a song or anything like that prepared.
Okay.
But I mean, I guess we'll express, condolences and as is appropriate.
All right. So after you have all sort of said your piece, songs have been sung, speeches have been made, Heartfast, the Lord of Mountain Hall, is a very gruff, kind of bluff, old, black-haired, now fading to gray, very doughty-looking man, stands up and he says, "So we have lamented the fallen," and he holds up a drinking horn, "as is the custom of our people. But it is also the custom of our people to remember his mighty deeds in arms. Let the glory of his deeds be sung, and more importantly, let it be toasted. Let us drink to the glory of Ingomar Axebreaker, and when we have drunk and feasted our fill, it will be time to choose a new war leader. As is the custom of our people, no king rules over us. We choose our own leaders, and it will fall to you, the Woodmen of Mirkwood, to choose your new champion, as once you chose Ingomar. But such heavy rede may be put off for a few days. Let us sing the valor of the fallen with harp and with the cup." And as he says, "with the cup," there is a resounding "Vroom," as a giant, about 2 miles in the distance, up on the hill where Woodmen Hall is built, you can see a large orange ball of fire erupt, followed by kind of a mushroom-shaped cloud that begins wafting up into the sky. Horns are immediately blown. "Fear! Fire! Foes! We're under attack!" And immediately this party that had initially armed up and gotten ready for they were just armed and wearing weapons and mail to honor the dead. This is now turned into a full-blown war band as the Woodman goes speeding back. I assume you are all accompanying them.
Yes.
Okay. You hustle back towards
Okay,
Wuruso.
wait, real quick. Who is attacking them?
You don't know. You totally missed that. You don't know.
What, we don't know?
What?
I mean, Narvi doesn't know.
If you only want in character knowledge, you were.
Yeah, you're batting 1,000 on the only
That's why
knowing
I
in
asked you
character
guys
knowledge.
to tell me everything. You left something out?
Well, I guess you'll find out.
This is why I said tell me everything.
It just happened. Amras had his second bout of madness, and before he absconded with the lamp, he blew up the building in which all the alcohol was being stored. Yeah, literally just happened.
I thought, yeah.
Yep.
No, I'm sorry. I knew that. I didn't realize that was.
Yeah, they're pretty sure that they're under attack though, because they're 2 miles away and they just saw a mushroom cloud erupt from Woodland Hall. So they go speeding back. I assume with horns blowing, forming up into ranks. I assume you're all accompanying them.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. As you arrive back, Kewina, Mogdred, and Mundarik are all sort of jockeying for position as their respective war bands stream into in through the gates and up towards the hall of Wuduseld. You can see a couple of about 3 buildings off to the left of the hall itself are now just ablaze with flame. Several of the men of Tyrant's Hill rush forward and start trying to pull the buildings down to keep the flames from spreading towards the other buildings in the settlement. And as they do, one of the guards stumbles out of the entrance to the hall and says, "The lamp. They took the elves. They took the lamp of Bolthy." Dairon at this point has arrived, all 3 of his men with swords drawn, and they look. Kewina turns around to look at them, and they look at him with faces that are just completely surprised. We were with you the entire time, Lord Kewina. Oh no. Oh no. The elf. Quickly, man. Who was it? It was the loud one, the one in the red cape, and the girl with him. Dairon sighs. I am so sorry. We must find them immediately. I fear what evil has befallen here today. Kewina nods. Aye. We'll start organizing search parties. We'll get our best trackers. They will not leave the circuit of our woods alive.
We can hear them, right?
Yep.
I'll find him. I'm gonna go look for him.
All right. So,
Can I roll hunting?
are you all going together?
Yeah, I think Idis will at least go with him and help look for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
With Illyri.
Moonin, what are you doing? Astrid, what are you doing?
Let's go hunt him down, eh?
Moonin, your intuition about Amras has been spot on
Spot
so
on the whole
far.
But I kind of keep it to myself and look to the lady Astrid. Like if she lets slip the dogs of war, I will hunt this elf down.
Aspirin is going after him.
Excellent. I'll make a tracking roll as well.
Narvi, are you also hunting Amras down?
I mean,
Sorry, I was dealing with kids and some of this, but I think I get the general gist. We all know that Amras
did help save
now we
Astrid's
got to
life,
hunt him down.
so she
Yeah.
preferred to not kill him.
I mean, if hunting Amras is the thing to do, I'm all over it.
If Astrid is the one that catches him, he will then. She
Okay.
can.
All right.
Amras.
I mean, everyone's going, right?
Yeah.
Like not just us, but like there's no, but like not just us, but a bunch of woodmen are also going to hunt him down.
Specifically, we are going, and it will be counted like Yeah, I don't know. I'm going, whether anyone's coming with me or not.
We'll shoot on sight. Like,
But people are coming.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
the idea is
at
we're
this
having
point, the men of Tyrant's Hill and Keowina and like they're all breaking up into war bands to just scour the forest.
He
Yeah.
probably has a better chance if we find him.
right.
Not much though.
Amras does not leave Reindeer like few minutes.
Is that your backup plan?
After
No, but I will find a chance to make these Pumets that I bought, Richard. Oh yes.
I really appreciate your dedication. All right, so this is going to be a prolonged action, and the difficulty is going to be well, we're in Mirkwood and you're trying to track elves, so the difficulty is going to be severe. So those of you who are looking for tracks, you can give me hunting rolls. While you're in Woodland Town, you can also give, while you're in Woodman Hall and the area right around it, you can also give me a search roll if you want to look for clues. So just one roll, so decide which one you'd like to do.
Search or what?
You can do search to look for clues, or hunting to search for tracks.
Can I use either elusive or patient as features that will help me in this?
I'm going to say not in this instance because haste is really important.
Okay.
Does
So-
clever help?
Does what help?
Clever.
I'm gonna say it's gonna take more than just being clever than ordinary to track elves through Mirkwood.
What is the target number?
Use.
18.
Oh,
Cool.
kind of raise that hunt a little. What's our hunt
Cool.
at now?
It is at 14.
Oh,
In Mirkwood, it has to be.
Oh, that was not me. That was
That was
Idis.
Idis, you are rolling search. While everybody else is splitting out to look for clues, you kind of think for a minute about the direction that they might be heading. And while the rest of your party is looking around for tracks or clues or anything like that that they might have left, you wander out the gate and down towards the dock by the riverfront. And there you find an empty mooring where a boat was clearly slashed free and taken downriver.
Alrighty. I'm by myself down here.
Yeah, but you can call everybody over pretty quickly.
Alright, I'm going to call everyone over and reach out the slashed boat. I think I can see where Amras has gone off to.
all right.
So, shall we proceed?
And most of the other search parties are headed away northward at this point because that is the direction that they expect the elves to go. This is the first clue that anyone has found, Idis, indicating that they would be headed south.
Has Lord Keowina left?
At this point, he's headed out north with the search party. I mean, he's probably hasn't gone super far, but
I think Astrid is going to alert him,
okay.
and it's going to try to catch up with him. If that means that we're splitting the party, that's okay. I mean, if y'all want to travel after to try to catch him first.
Do y'all want to take a minute to let Lord Keowina know, or do you want to head immediately south?
Well, if Astrid wants to come with us, then I guess we would.
No, you can go without Astrid. You can go immediately if you like, or you can wait a minute and, I mean, probably more than a minute, but
It'll be more than a minute. It'll be like
right,
20 minutes, which is a lot of minutes when you're chasing somebody down.
right. So if y'all want to get to him first,
Well, I was going to say, should we try to acquire a vessel so that we can float down the river? Instead
There
of...
are a lot
there
of
other
boats here. Yeah,
There are other boats.
yeah, there are several boats here.
Is there a rental system, or is there one that's owned
Let's
that we
get in
would
a
know is
boat.
owned by someone?
okay with borrowing
Are
it?
you kidding me, dwarf? Get in the boat.
Y'all go on without me.
Narvi shrugs, and they all climb into the boat that's obviously owned by the wealthiest person.
It's almost a yacht. I mean, there's like
All right.
food there, like a wicker basket with
Someone's going to be really PO'd when we get back.
So you get into this kind of large, flat barge and begin pulling it downstream. As
Is
for
that the quickest looking boat there?
it's not the quickest looking boat there. He said the one that looks like it was owned by the
No.
wealthiest person.
No,
Okay.
no. He's not there.
Okay, that's fine. We'll get in the quickest looking boat.
I mean, he is
We'll
there.
turn-
He's
we'll-
there with you
We'll
guys.
Oh,
turn this
he's
boat.
there. I
We'll
thought
turn
that
this boat around and put it back. And then
All right,
get
you
the
take
quicker-
30 minutes turning the boat around.
Oh my
No, I'm
goodness,
kidding.
no.
I'm kidding.
When Asfred gets back.
All right, so you find kind of a long, kind of a very sparse-looking skiff, which looks like it could hold the 5 of you or 4 of you, and move rather quickly down the river. That's right.
I see what's going on.
All right.
Asfred, you head off. It takes you about 30 minutes to catch up to Lord Kwina's party, as he has already moved very quickly north through the woods towards the Old Forest Road.
Lord Kaelina,
Asfred, my love.
he's gone south. He took a boat.
What? Amras.
Yes.
All right.
I've sent my people on.
I'm glad you came and told me.
No.
This, the work of the enemy has been done among us today, but if we can get the lamp back before Mogdred does.
Yes.
All right.
Am I
He,
still wearing pants?
we'll come to you in a minute.
Okay.
I mean, the short answer is yes.
Okay.
And even if you weren't, you're super committed at this point. You kind of set everything on fire. You turn back around, and Kwina, it takes him a moment to like call all of his search parties because everybody's kind of spread out, and you start moving back your way. All told, by the time you've got all of Kwina's war band, including Warsong and her brother, the Woodgoer, you're probably an hour and a half behind the rest of the party.
Okay.
But you do get there and start embarking on boats to head downstream.
Okay.
Amras, you move through the woods as quickly as you possibly can, and given that you're all Sylvan elves, that's really saying something. After about probably an hour or two, the darkness that had clouded over your eyes once again begins to recede, and
Wait, we're moving through the woods? We're not on a boat?
well, you are on a boat, but it's a boat going down through the woods.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna say.
and
We are good.
you're extremely skilled. You're extremely skilled at boats, being Sylvan elves and being very accustomed to moving boats up and down the very swiftly flowing forest river from the Elven King's halls. And so you're making extremely good progress down the river, and eventually, when you come to a certain place, you ditch the boat and allow it to continue to float downstream, as you now strike off eastward into the heart of the forest.
Okay, so I'm not crazy pants then?
Yeah, after about an hour or two, the impact of what you just did starts to dawn on you.
Okay, so where we land, I'm gonna let the other elves go ahead a little ways, and I'm going to mark one of the large trees near the verge if I can.
Okay,
Um,
how are you marking it?
I think basically all I've got on me is I guess I have a knife.
A bright case.
Sure.
It's true, I do have bright red. That would be more than anything. Okay, yes. I'm gonna go ahead and tear a strip off of my.
Are you attempting to do this without the other elves noticing you?
Yes.
Give me a
Actually,
stealth
you know
roll.
what? I am going to look at my wineskin and I'm going to go, this stuff is garbage. I'm going to hang it on a branch next to where we get off.
Give me a riddle roll. Come on, third. The hat trick. Come on.
What is my target here?
14.
I'm getting an Eye of Charon.
Oh.
Okay. Duvaniel looks at you a little oddly and says, "Come on, there's plenty of time for drinking later. We need to keep moving."
Well, yes.
So you begin to move your way through the forest, and actually, you notice that something sort of strange is happening, and it's mostly immediately apparent to your senses as an elf, and the fact that you're tied more closely to the land. Looking back over your shoulder, it's almost as if a darkness now is beginning to hang over the eastern eaves of the forest as you move. But
Alright.
there is, and while ahead of you, the trees almost seem to not really open up, but your path becomes clearer, and the gloom of the forest less oppressive as you carry the lamp of Balthi. Although at this point, Tunuel is carrying it, and she has put it in sort of a large burlap sack that she slung over one shoulder.
Can I be leaving little strips of red behind?
Do you want to give me a stealth roll to do so?
Sure. Why not?
Because if they see you, that's why.
14?
Go ahead.
Is that my target?
Well, it's an opposed roll against their perception, so.
Son of-
No!
Oh my goodness!
Wow. It looks like everyone is going to hate Amras.
Oh my goodness!
Oh.
A giant spider comes out of Mirkwood and eats them all.
Amras, as
Hey.
you kind of look back over your shoulder and reach down to cut a square strip of cloth from the hem of your cape. And as you do so, you feel the heavy metal point of a spear at the base of your neck. And Old Deer says, "I would strongly advise against that."
Trimming my cape?
Move.
I didn't realize you were a
Amras.
tailor, old dear, but if you think the cut would be better left the way it is, then all right.
Move, Amras. We have to get to Skybridge Tree before nightfall.
I don't know why the spear was required to tell me this.
Move.
I feel like I've been keeping up this whole time, and I burned down half the town for this party. I feel like perhaps maybe my level of commitment is actually more than your level of commitment here, old dear. Just saying.
Move.
And hey, you know what, buddy? If I'm the guy who burned the place down and helped the girl, you and her, probably not going to happen now.
She's my older sister.
Yeah, that's really not going to happen now.
Which is actually something you knew because I told you 2 weeks ago. Ah. So you kind of begin moving along again, and as you do, you suddenly hear the howling of a wolf in the distance. All right, gang, I'm gonna need some hunting rolls from you. Actually, as you're headed downstream, just give me an awareness roll. I want to see who all notices the if anyone notices the wineskin.
That was Titus.
Wow. Come on, Asfred.
Asfred's not there.
Oh, fantastic!
She's an hour and a half behind you.
I was trying to help you all.
yeah.
Instead, I'm going to have Kaowina chase
Wow.
his hordes.
Amanda, do you want to spend a point of hope?
I mean, that seems like a good idea. Let's see. Can I even? The wolf, yeah, that would be helpful.
That's pretty much yes. That's gonna be who it is because he hates the lamp, and we got the lamp. So, yeah, no, we're going toe to toe with the werewolf.
That's okay. Y'all can just
All right.
turn the lamp on and he'll run away.
I'm spending a point of hope, and that definitely gets me over 14.
Okay. Illyri, as you're pulling downstream in this skiff, and Narvi is muttering about how you should have gotten the barge instead.
By the way, I'm still
Um,
miserable, right?
What's that?
I'm still miserable, right?
You are still miserable.
So do I get another bout of madness?
You do.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought.
So just go ahead and put on another point of corruption. At this point, this whole adventure is just one extended bout of madness for you. So just add another point of permanent shadow.
The elf dice is strong with this one.
Oh man, it's so strong. You're already about to take the title away from Lumerin, I think. Like this is pretty bad.
I mean, come on here. This is clearly the winner.
Also, you're gonna have all 3 of your shadow weaknesses now. Or three of your 4. 2 more bouts of madness, and you go over the sea, or become a NPC villain. Like that's how close you are right now.
So I've got Wandering Madness,
Become an
which
NPC villain.
idleness, and what else do I get with this card?
I'll have to look. We will figure it. We'll
I
chat.
can see Amras, like, of all of us, I could see Amras just, like, turning.
Yeah. We'll
Like that
we'll
actually
chat.
makes
We'll
sense.
chat tomorrow, Ben. So as you're moving down the river,
I want to know though, Ben. Do you feel that terror inside your heart every time you move your clicker over a dice?
It's not terror. It's more like, well, okay, here we go again. It's more like resignation.
so
So you're broken, is what you're saying. Okay, because I didn't quite get to the broken part.
so Narvi, well, you didn't have 3 bouts of madness in one adventure.
That is. He wins. Okay, this is the new title.
So
Amazing.
Narvi is grousing about how you guys should have gotten the barge instead, and Moonin, I don't know what Moon is doing.
Well, there's no room on this skiff.
But as you're sort of like kind of elbowing for space, Illyri, you glance to your left and you see a wineskin, mostly empty, kind of dangling in the breeze from where it hangs.
Tiny note on it, drink me.
Yeah, there's a tiny note on it that says "Drink me," but it's in Elvish, so I can't read it.
Okay, so I tell them to stop. Let's stop. Let's stop here. Look, that's. I'm pretty sure I recognize that right there. She jumps out of the boat and goes to get it. And, like, she pops it, does not drink it, she smells it. Oh, yep, that smells like Amras.
All right. Give me hunting rolls, everybody, to follow the tracks through the woods.
18?
Mm-hmm.
What? That's
He does not roll.
Nice.
Nice.
Hey!
Oh, yeah.
Everybody can follow Amras through the forest, except for Idis
You guys can stop rolling. Don't roll. You might get a.
and Moonin.
Don't worry, nothing bad can happen.
All right. You very quickly, Illyri and Narvi, find very clear tracks leading eastward into the heart of Mirkwood, and you begin to follow them through into the heart of Mirkwood towards a large stand of dark, high and dark trees that every now and then. There's not so much a break in the trees, but you can see that the trees are getting taller and taller. And you, Narvi, you would know that at this point you are bound for the Ailean oak, referred to in the language of the Woodmen as the Skybridge oak. It's one of the oldest and tallest trees in the region. And Amras, the reason you would know that the reason that Duvaniel wants to make her way towards this oak is because it is one of the taller. It once marked an old elf path that ran from Amon Lonk to the refuges in the mountains of the mountains of Mirkwood, and it's the beginning of essentially a secret path that would head northward through the heart of Mirkwood to the mountains of Mirkwood, where your vineyards are, far away to the north. And Amras, as you were running through the woods now, your pace accelerating as the howls of this enormous beast draw ever nearer. The rest of you coming just a very little bit behind now hear the howls as well. And you hear not only the howl of one great wolf, but the answering howls of many other wolves on either side of the path as they all now begin to converge. And as you finally come to the end of the trail which Amras has left behind for you, you come to the Skybridge Oak. And it's this enormous, giant tree, several arm spans in width, at the base of which the huge roots go out almost like the spurs of a mountain in several different directions from the tree. And you can see very clearly, backed into the cleft of one of these roots, you see the 4 elves, Amras the Red, Duvaniel, Oldir, and Tinuel. Blades drawn. There's already swords streaming from Amras's blade. Oldir's spear tip is black and red with blood. There are 2 wolves lying dead on the ground as a huge pack of them closes in around the elves. And as they do so, you can see one creature particularly large at the forefront of the wolves. And beside the creature, there's a man standing in black armor. His helmet fashioned strangely in an ancient pattern. Black steel that comes down in kind of a mask pattern, almost like the Sutton Hoo helmet with a nose guard and a mask around the outside of the face. But inside of the face, or inside the helmet, there is only empty blackness.
Are you kidding me? Oh,
That's
no.
And you hear a cold voice ring out, "Come not between the Nazgul and his prey, or he will not slay thee in thy turn. He will bear thee away to the houses of lamentation beyond all darkness, where thy flesh shall be devoured, and thy shriveled mind be left naked to the lidless eye." And that is where we're going to stop for the
Of
night.
course it is.